Hi, I'm Anaya. Welcome back to my channel. This is Anaya Makes Art, and today we're going over my sketchbooks. I don't think I've gone in detail every single page, but today we're gonna do it. No one has seen the inner workings of my brain through these journals, so I hope you enjoy the journey. Subscribe. You don't have to right now, but if you feel the connection, go ahead. Sooner than later is great. And like the video if you're feeling extra generous, but we're gonna get straight into it. I know a lot of people like to have different journals for different purposes, but this is more so I just have ideas and I throw everything into one journal. So we can start with the oldest. Oh my gosh, this is actually a Moleskine. It's a little brand of stationery and I used to be really into it. This one is also a Moleskine, but it's no different from any other notebook I've come to realize. But I still really like it. It has held up, obviously. There's glue on here, there's dirt, rips, whatever. These have lasted the test of time. But I would bring this and then just jot down any idea that I had that was like kind of random. So this is the first page. I usually like to write a little like hello journal or an intro of what my intentions are for the journal. But yeah, I wrote that. And this is a no line, I don't know how to explain it, just dots type of journal. I wanted to explore this. I've come to realize I don't prefer this kind. I just prefer a blank page, but this is what I wanted at the time and I wanted to try it out. So the pages are pretty thin. The pages are pretty thin. Yeah. But yeah, this first one is a light sketch of a picture of myself. I do a lot of self-portraiture in these journals, the early ones, but I just did a very light sketch, and these tiny journals give me the confidence to create bigger pieces of art. It just feels low stakes, and I just create any ideas that I have. And I'm looking through this, and I'm actually better than I thought I was. This is just a concept I had of rose petals and then an arm reaching into the petals and then a hand on the other side. I don't know what that represents at this time. It's probably in the writing, but I should have wrote it down. That's pretty cool if you ask me. This is a sketch of me and my friend. We had a little photo shoot. We went to a museum. And another thing that I like to do is create the sketch and then write whatever ideas I have around the sketch. That way it creates this cool little collage effect. I really enjoy that, and I might add color with pen. Damn, I'm talented. I haven't seen this journal in so long. But I love that I'm realizing how much talent I had back then, because you know, you create something, especially as an artist, and you're like, oh, it's not good. But this was from 2016, 2017. And this was a picture I drew with pen of my friend back then, a little Valentine's Day card that she gave me. And I think this is a Post-it note shaped like a cat. But God, I think I was into painting my friends at the time. And this is another picture of my friend. And yeah, my inspirations tend to be either my friends or ideas. My friends are my muse. We have another portrait of one of my friends and his dog. And then another one that I don't like so much, but you know, it's there. It doesn't have to be perfect. And I actually love this one. I remember the concept. It was just to draw, but not lift my pen and pretty much draw my emotions. It's so, like, you can't tell what's what, but at the time I was able to get out whatever I was feeling at the time and not really worry about, you know, tone, structure, shapes, whatever. I was kind of just scribbling, and it was very therapeutic at the time. And I did have a couple pages of writing, but this is a couple of versions of a different friend. Same picture, just drawn multiple times of the same face. And yeah, kind of using different techniques. I didn't really know what I was doing. I wasn't like that good of an artist. And this is the same scribble concept, but with words. So not intended to be read, but intended to get out the emotions that I had at the time. Ah, this is a drawing of my dog. A quick sketch. One day, I'm sure I will be better at the quick sketches, but this is where I was at. And I just love to see something from the brain on paper. I'm so happy that I just took a chance and I wasn't worried too much about whether or not it looked good. It was just, you know, my feelings and my thoughts. One thing that I also like to do, here's another sketch. I don't know what kind of face, and then a picture of me and my family. But I also like to add, this is a picture of me and my friend at the dinner table. Oh, this is just making me so happy because it's taking me down memory lane. But I also like to put Polaroids and be inspired by the Polaroids. So, and also movie tickets. This is kind of like, sort of like a collage, diary, journal, sketchbook. I kind of just put whatever in here. So like I said earlier, I don't have a sketchbook for each thing. It's kind of more of like a multimedia collage of things. Here's sort of like a hand study. I had a phase where I loved drawing my own hand. And I don't know what kind of pen I was using to write this small, but it was working. Yeah, and I also have Polaroids, but the rest is pretty much writing. So that was around 2017, 2018. Which, dude, the fact that that's almost 10 years ago is kind of scaring me. Okay, but now we're getting into the blue Moleskine. Don't know what this is, but I remember the concept for this when I first started was this is going to be the blue book. Everything in here is going to be made with blue, either pen, pastel, paint, whatever. It's just going to be blue. And my first writing, well, first of all, I started with, anyone who finds this, the reward is a firm handshake. And then the second page is, I don't like how this page is slightly glued down. Like, this actually is irritating me today. This first page doesn't lay all the way flat. It's just kind of glued to the first, like, stock page, cardboard stock. But this is my intro to the book. It's a little plant, and it's kind of just saying, like, my friend gave me this, and my goal might be to do one drawing every day, but also maybe not. And then the second, oh, this is also 2017. The second thing is, it might be George Washington. We're not completely sure, but it was giving that kind of vibe. Again, I'm glad I did it. And this is sort of like a collage of different portraits, different pictures of myself on top of my bed. Interesting concept, love it. This is me in a thrift store. Hey, all with pen. I love pen drawings and sketches because it teaches me to commit to the strokes that I make. And I've never been a pencil girl, even with writing. I've just always been comfortable with pen, and my favorite pen to use is a blue pen. So I love to see blue pen artwork. One artwork that I hate though, and I'm trying to get better with it because no need to hate any sort of medium, but it is oil pastel. And I was like, let me give it a try, let me see. I usually don't look up color theory or painting theory or anything. I remember just going in and just seeing what I could do with like shading and everything. I still don't like oil pastel. I don't know what's going on with that. I think because it looks like crayon and I don't like the texture of it, but I am trying to work with oil pastel to this day. That was just a little like sample page. And here's a little sketch of vocabulary words. I was trying to learn Spanish, still am 10 years later, and I can speak semi-fluently. I can have a little conversation, but use big words and I'm done. And I remember kind of tapering off with this one. I didn't use it too long for my blue art concept. I more so just started writing in it at a certain point, which is very disappointing. I should have kept going. But I think what factors into that is it is lined paper. So you know, that's not super conducive for drawing, but I still may do. Yeah, we're actually done with that, which is super disappointing. But this is the big boy. This is what we've all been waiting for. See how thick it is? This is definitely my biggest collage type project, multimedia, painting, drawing, whatever. This has a lot more of my recent ideas and recent art. So yes, we have the first intro page. I didn't even realize that I did this until right now, but I think it's a beautiful thing to kind of honor the journal and set my intentions. And this is a calligraphy practice sheet. I'm still practicing this day. I'm picking it back up, but I bought a calligraphy pen and I was super excited about it. So yes, that was me practicing. Wow. Here, I know it may not look like much, but I was making a pair of pants, right? And I was cutting out cloth to glue onto the pants. And this was sort of me experimenting with the structure. Like, what do I want the shapes to look like? So that's what that is. So I cut out the shapes. I ended up going with these patterns and it was so cool. I don't know where the pair of pants is now. But these are movie tickets. Did you know that movie tickets just fade over time? Doesn't matter what you saw, doesn't matter when you saw it. Most of these are blank and I covered them with tape. Like, I'm so sad. What movie did I go see? Yeah. And this is a little page, I guess unfinished, but it has a flower petal, a piece of cloth that I cut out from the pants I was making, and a fortune cookie from Panda Express that says, "Make your dreams a reality." And a piece of my gray hair that I pulled out. But this is a poem that I wrote. It's called Friends Over Lovers, and these are rose petals climbing up the side of the page. And it's about how I'd rather have someone as a friend because you can keep them forever than have them as a lover, and then it, you know, relationships sometimes crash and burn and then you lose the person. So sad, but it's a little poem about that. This is song lyrics. I went to a park and I just sat at the lake and I just wrote the song lyrics to Daniel Caesar's, I think. It's from his album That's All Blue. I also made another art piece with a cutout of that album because I love the shade of blue. It's my favorite shade of blue. And I think it perfectly encapsulates the feeling and the vibe of the album. So perfect artwork. And I know artists have drama and all that, but I'm not really concerned with it most of the time. Oh, here's a card that my friend got me. I glued it in here. And she is so sweet. And this is a day that I was just bored and I drew my bed with watercolor. I'm surprised I used watercolor because I was not into watercolor at this time. But I'm glad I did it. Oh, and this is so pretty. Oh my God. And I just wrote about how I cut flowers from the outside and brought them inside. And it brought in a lot of bugs and I didn't expect that. I don't know why I didn't expect it, but it happened and I made art from it. But this is such a pretty combination of colors and they're not browned out. Perfect color palette, Anaya. And then these are leaves from a peony plant. I did have the flower on this side, but I think I cut it out because I thought it was ugly. I don't know why I would do that, but oh, it's because it's on the wrong side. I think I was upset that the flower was over here and then the beginning of the stem was over here when it should be on this side, but definitely was overthinking it in my opinion. Oh, and this is another blue page. I was inspired by blue. I think this, if you can't tell, my favorite color is blue, but I think this is a light portraiture of myself, and then different faces you can see are within the painting, with mixtures of green and blue pen. So beautiful. And then I remember I was sitting outside with my friend and we were watercoloring, and this is before I was comfortable watercoloring, but it's just what we had at the moment. and I was afraid to do something detailed, so I just did this. But it came out pretty cool. I like it. And then we have just a flower with orange ink and a card that my friend gave me. Very special, very sweet. Love it. And then on the next page, we have a flower petal page, which I didn't finish because at one point I was like, okay, we get the concept. But this is to prove to myself all the times that I've bought myself flowers, and I can buy myself flowers. But yeah, I just put the date. These are mostly roses, and it's just such a beautiful concept. I called it Flower Wall. Here's a little poem with some flowers taped in. I will tape anything in here, honestly. And one thing that I started doing is collecting my Polaroids from a month and then putting all the special moments together on one page so that I can remember that, you know, I can do fun stuff and fun things happen in my life. These are more Daniel Caesar lyrics. This is, I think it's called Do Not Lean, but a Polaroid of myself. I just love the lyrics. They're so moody and deep, but yeah, I love writing them out. Very poetic. Another month in time. This was actually my birthday month, and it was so freaking fun. So many new experiences. And I have a whole lot of my dream board in here. I will put it on the board, and then at the end of the year, it's a whole ritual. I love dream boards. I will take them off the board and then put them into this journal so that I can just flip back and see what I was thinking about in 2024, 2025. And one thing I do is I usually give myself a word for the year. This year was abundance. So there was that. This was December. I had such a good time. But yeah, it just makes me smile being able to look back and see a decorated, curated version of the month that I lived in. This is also December. So cute. And then we have some koi fish. Hello? This is so good. I hope I don't seem like conceited, but I haven't looked at this in a long time. But I'm surprised at myself because when you're doing the art, or me myself, I don't think it's good. But I'm looking back and just seeing how, like, taking a chance and drawing what's in my mind, how it turns out on paper, and it's better than I expect. And I've always told myself that I'm good at copying something, but not good at drawing something from my imagination. But these were from my imagination. So it just goes to show how when you take a chance on yourself, you never know how good it's gonna turn out. Like, you might as well try. I remember this day, I made this collage because I was sad, and I saw that one of my favorite creators online, she was sad and she openly expressed it online. So I'm like, let me channel this sad energy. And isn't that how we get the best songs ever from the artists that we listen to? So I took SZA's Saturn, because that's a pretty sad song sounding happy, but I cut that out. And then I found this flower and I cut out some petals and I glued them in. And I went outside that day and I just so happened to see the sky, and it was that perfect shade of blue that is on Daniel Caesar's album. And I was like, wow, I'm gonna take a picture. And I did. And then I wrote out some song lyrics, and I got a notification that day that said being happy is one of the top priorities in my life. And I practiced this feeling, and I thought it was just a synchronicity, and it was so beautiful. And I printed out a feelings wheel. So I felt so much better after creating art. After that, I was so inspired. This is also another one of my favorite artists, and I don't know where I saw this, probably on his Instagram. His name is Moses Sumney, and I love the music that he's made. My favorite album of his is actually Gray. It's just artistic perfection. Sometimes you run into one of those albums that are great from start to finish. This is one of those albums. And this is him again with Daniel Caesar's artwork in the back. So super cool. This is less drawing and more collaging. Another collage. This is flower petals, but as a house. Don't we love that? So beautiful. I want to get to the nitty gritty, like the art that I have in here, because this is mostly collages. I do a lot of collaging when I'm sad as well. And it's funny, this was a day that I was sad and the picture that I took turned out blue. And I also went to go get my aura photographed and most of it was blue. Like, can you tell that blue is just my favorite color? And I wrote in blue pen too. So beautiful. Another card from my friend. I save all my cards. So beautiful. And that's about it. This is a baby photo of me and then a page that I had watercolored green because I thought I was gonna go back in and like draw something on top of it. But this is me during Halloween. I was Snow White. So freaking cute. But thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. If you made it this far, drop a blue heart down below. And I'm so happy I was able to share this with you guys. Me collaging and painting, it just makes me so happy. So I'd love if you can share some of your artwork, tag me in it, talk about it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.